Hi, I'm Eddie with Pegasus Technologies. I'm going to make a short video on how to go about assembling the 3-blade prop hub and mounting it on the engine. Alright, first thing, the parts. Bottom half of the prop hub, top half of the prop hub, the prop nut, the adjustment nut, and the prop adjusting screw, and also retaining clip, nose cone, and the 3 blades. Alright, first thing is we'll take the bottom part of the hub, and where the blades will slip in, we'll put a small amount of assembly lube in. And we'll have it ready to mount the props in. Also on the top side where the prop meets, we'll put a small amount of assembly lube in also. Now, on the bottom, the props, there's 2 places, a narrow place here and here, where it's been machined. We'll put a small amount of oil all the way around. To allow for it to slip easy once you're assembling the prop. Also, on the very back of it, each prop has a number and a letter. The letters are matching numbers A, B, C, and D, and each of those, the numbers on them are weight of each prop, so we can balance the props to meet each other. We'll also put a small amount of lube on the back side of that also, on each prop. Now, we'll take the bottom half of the prop hub, set it on the engine. The prop nut gets a small amount of oil on the threads and on the very bottom of the prop nut. You can go ahead and screw it down hand tight at this point. And we'll take each prop, the prop adjustment nut and the prop adjustment screw, small amount of oil on the threads, and we'll place in the prop adjusting nut. The prop adjusting nut has a small notch on each side at the very bottom. We want that on the bottom and not the top, is where the adjustment will come from. Screw the adjusting screw all the way through. And let it protrude through just a small amount. And just slip that in place. Each prop will fit in the notch and roll into its spot on the hub. Once those are in, we take the top of the prop hub and we set it in place. Once that's in place, we'll put are screws on each side of the prop, or each side of each blade, all the way around. In. Okay, now the tools that we are used. First off is 5mm nut driver that's been into a 90, 2mm Allen wrench. These are used to put the nut and tighten the bolt on the prop hub. The 90 is put there so to make ease of access on the airplane. We'll go ahead and put all of the bolts and nuts in around the prop and just snug them down close and leave them a little loose so that we can adjust the prop. That's not fitting. Alright, once we have all 6 of those in, we'll adjust the prop. We can assemble this horizontal, and we can use a throw meter to set the pitch, or once the engine is on the airframe, we can use a pitch gauge from a helicopter, which that's the way I'll use it to align the props. We make a mark from the tip of the prop in 95mm. And 95mm is where I'm going to set my pitch at. And the way it's done, I lock my pitch gauge in, and I'll make an alignment with the top of the pitch gauge even with the top of the hub. And I'll go around and I'll set each individual prop. Once you make the adjustment and those pitches are made, once it's close, you can tweak each individual blade to that desired pitch, and it'll stay in place. Once that's in place, you can go ahead and tighten down all 6 of the screws that are on each side of the props. Once those are tightened down, then we'll go ahead and we'll torque the prop hub to the engine. And it's critical that we only go to 30 pounds of torque, so not to pull anything out of alignment inside the engine. And once that's torqued down, you can go ahead and put the rest of the screws in and snug them on down. Once that's done, we'll go to the clip. The clip has been pressed out and it has a chamfer on the inside of one side and it's flat on the other side. The side that's flat is the side you want up on the prop nut to keep it from coming loose or potentially coming loose in flight. And it should spin free on by hand once it's on. Once that's all done, then we can go to the spinner. Spinner also, small amount of oil around the very base of it. To allow for the spinner to spin on free once I get it started. You do not want to spin the spinner on no more than hand tight. If you do, it makes it really hard to get off, and it won't come off in flight. And that's how we assemble the 3-blade prop hub for the Pegasus R9 engine. And thank you for looking, and that's it.